Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Behind the Docs. Today we have the pleasure of hosting Christian from the Dupuy group. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to get into this and to learn a little bit more about you. So tell me a little bit, where you're sitting out from, where you grew up.
So born in Montreal, raised outside of Toronto, then moved down to Florida when I was younger, and then went to Tulane University in New Orleans, and I have been here ever since.
Wow.
So about 35 years.
You're really living like the Montreal dream, because coming from Montreal myself, I can tell you that it's everyone's dream to move to Florida. That whole dream there. So you did it. That's awesome.
Thank my parents.
Winters.
Yeah, both my parents were Americans.
Okay, so, made it easy.
Yeah.
The winters, I'm sure, don't miss you at all.
No, not at all. New Orleans is super hot too, just like Florida. So it's
that's awesome.
Very, very akin. Yes.
Are you still good in French at all?
Oh no, no. I was only there through second grade, so I just was getting immersed, and then they didn't offer French at public school in Florida. Yeah.
I totally get that. I'd love to know a little bit, obviously getting into the space that you are now in logistics, how did you get into that? What made you interested to have the career that you do now?
I worked for a number of years in advertising. I worked in the food and beverage industry, and I did marketing and started working for a reasonably large local franchise of coffee shops called PJ's Coffee. I worked there for 14 years. I was co-lead for marketing over there, and then we did so much coffee. I just got really into the business, and Dupuy actually was the very first coffee warehouse in the United States in New Orleans in 1936. So I knew about them, and they came looking for me just because I knew coffee. But we've diversified a lot, so we're not just coffee now. But that's pretty much how I wound up here.
Okay, that's super interesting. How do you find the change from food and bev to warehousing, what you do now?
It took me a while to get used to all the acronyms and all the modes of transportation. Just learning all the dialect you have to use. But I really have transitioned quite well. I think with marketing, you're always doing sales as well. So using that background that I have, I think has helped me a lot in this job.
That's amazing. Obviously, you mentioned, Dupuy has been here since 1936. I imagine, honestly, you haven't been there since 1936. But how have you found it has evolved since you started there?
In the last 2 years since I've been here, we've absolutely got it more diverse. We started off as basically being huge coffee and tea. We're in 5 different cities, actually. We're in Houston, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Charleston, and Toronto as well. And since I started here, the coffee market has been rather slow. So we're seeing a lot less coffee coming through here. So we've seriously diversified into a lot more grains, break bulk, a lot of metals, lots of different commodities, just trying to diversify and expand our portfolio.
Amazing. I think that's definitely what's needed in the economy that we are in right now. Everything, it's the most important thing is to adapt, for sure. That's how people are staying with the success they have. And I'm sure that's what Dupuy has done since 1936 is you have to adapt.
Oh, yes.
But it's an interesting fact. I didn't know that it was such a big lead coffee company. So that's super interesting.
Yeah, we have a lot of the big wigs. We blend their coffees for them. We do everything green. We don't buy or sell any coffee, but we handle massive millions and millions of pounds.
Hey, you mentioned you blended. Do you guys you do a little bit of manufacturing as well?
We do. We handle for larger companies that you'd know. Their green coffee comes in, and we have 2 silo facilities. There's only 4 in the entire United States. 2 coffee handling silos. Basically, the one here in New Orleans has 21 individual silos inside of a silo. And we get all these different coffees from all over the world. We sort them, clean them, get all the stones out of them, all the sticks, all that kind of stuff. And then we suck them up into these silos. And they're different coffees in each one. And the customers sample them just to make sure they have the exact coffees that they need. And then literally they'll say, hey, I need our breakfast blend. And like one silo will drop like 40,000 pounds of coffee. Another will drop like 50,000 pounds of coffee. And green, we shake it up and you blend it. So yeah, it's everything. And then we put it back into super stacks. And the roastery, New Orleans is very strategically located on the Mississippi River. We have all 5 all 6 Class A railroads come through here.
Yeah.
So we have lots of roasting facilities here.
Okay.
Folgers is here. Riley Food is here. Yeah, lots of big ones.
I know you mentioned, New Orleans being very specific in where it's located. Obviously, all your major facilities are pretty close to a lot of port cities. What advantages do you find that that's given your customers?
It's just with the capabilities we have, we are so close. In Charleston specifically, we're extremely close to that port there. It just we're allowed to, because of our scale, we're allowed to offer really great dray rates. We're close enough that we don't have to gouge people. It's all about nickels and dimes now, and transportation in our industry is key. So we're able to keep our costs down by being so close to the ports.
That's amazing. I know you mentioned that you have a lot of history in marketing. Right now, what is it that you do exactly? Are you principally on the marketing side? I know you mentioned a little bit of sales as well.
Yeah, I'm a commercial manager. We dabble a little bit here and there. Obviously with my background, people hit me up for some marketing stuff. I was never a designer or anything like that, so I was the account executive. So I'm better at doing account work and sales. So I spend a lot of my time prospecting, following up with existing clients, trying to, as my boss would say, get sticky with them, find multiple points of contact with them where we can help them out and add value in one way, shape, or form. So yeah, I spend all day doing sales. It's again, it's different than doing marketing, but it's interesting. It's fun because when you land a sale, it's endorphin rush.
I think there are a lot of similar things between the marketing and sales. I think that your experience in marketing probably does help you a lot in your sales aspect as well, because you can kind of understand the ins and outs in a different way that someone who doesn't have that experience probably wouldn't have known. I'd love to know a little bit, about your opinion on marketing, because you were in it for so long. I know that it's definitely a big topic of conversation in our industry because, it could tend to be a bit outdated. So working for a company that's been around since 1936, how do you find marketing has evolved in the space that you work in logistics?
In logistics, it's just ever evolving. I think, it's just, for instance, even with WearMatch. I mean, WearMatch is how we're having a slow time in our Charleston warehouse. So we wanted to sign up with y'all. It's just really hard to get in front of people. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different ways to get in front of people. It's ever evolving. I mean, it can't just be finding an email. It's got to be multiple touch points. It's got to be going to trade shows. It's got to be, hosting dinners, doing symposiums, the whole thing. It's a very much a 360 approach. You have to hit everybody from every which side. Yeah, because it can't just be an email. It's got to be, you got to find them in other places. And it's very hard to get people's email addresses.
Half the time it goes into spam anyway. Yeah. So it is what it is. It's an outdated version of doing it. Yeah. But, with your experience, obviously, in the space, what's kind of one mistake that you see people in the industry do when it comes to marketing?
That's a good one.
Take your time. It's okay.
Yeah, I would say being too singularly focused, going after one, just like I said, since we're expanding beyond coffee and diversifying, being hyper-focused is too, sometimes in this business, I think, pigeonholes you a little bit too much. You need to be talking about all of your assets, all the ways you can add value, not just, hey, we do coffee. We have rail service, we have a trucking fleet, we have all these different things. You have to really, and it's hard to get that succinctly in a message to people. So, it's just, you got to be smart about it.
100%. You said something that was interesting with the different services that you guys offer. Obviously warehousing is so much more than just, storing pallets, things like that. What are services that you find that customers in your specific niche are continuously asking for?
Drayage is the biggest one. And I mentioned that before. If you can get good price on dray, you land a lot of business just because of that. It's also a good moneymaker. And it enables you to get the last mile business as well. Once you prove you've got a good trucking system. Does that answer your question, you think?
Yeah, it does. 100%. What are some hurdles that you find come across when you offer drayage? Is what's some pieces of advice?
Just with everything that's going on in the world, gas, fuel surcharges, it's changing every day. Tariffs, you name it. Which just, tariffs on things coming in means that people have less money to spend on drayage, or they're going to have to raise the price to their end consumers. So, yeah, I think that would be the answer to that.
With everything that's been thrown our way in the economy with tariffs and fuel prices, what are ways that you guys have like adapted to those hurdles to stay, close to your niche?
Got it. Besides diversifying, we also have been getting a lot of our warehouses bonded. Now again, there's a lot of hurry up and get these things bonded so people can come store their stuff and not pay the tariff. And so it costs a lot of money to go through those steps.
Yes.
And then when the tariffs go away, it's just a little bit difficult. It's a juggling game, if you will. But the good thing is now we're certified with lots of metal certifications, CME, LME, ICE futures. We've got all kinds of certifications now. Free trade zone, you name it. Every single town we're in, we have facilities that are bonded.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you find that bonding the facilities was a big hurdle to kind of overcome? Or was it something that really just significantly improved all of the services to offer your customers?
It just takes a long time it takes us, you're dealing with the government. So it's very, it's time consuming. You can't do it in a day. You have to send inspectors. And again, like I said, it's very pricey, but we were willing to make the investment in ourselves. And I think it's for our firm, our company moving forward, I think it's the way to go. You have to, sometimes you're going to get the wrong client in there, but space is space sometimes. But if you can get a premium for it, that's what we're going for.
100%. To you, like obviously in the industry, you were on one end of the business and now you're on the other. What do you find separates, a good 3PL from a great one?
I think your customer service. I think customer service and just attention to detail. You can't, we're in a business, especially with coffee. There's lots of fumigation needs to be done. If it needs to be done, there's bugs, there's pests, there's all kinds of things. Your facility's just got to be just clean and good, and you can't have mistakes. You can't have trucks going out without a seal. You can cleaning out the trailers and just the general being a good neighbor, I guess, if you will, with your customers, and just being on your game and just being punctual and getting back right away. I think communications is a big part of being successful.
I agree. I think customer service is super important. If you're able to share, what are some ways that you guys are making yourself stand out with your customer service? What's kind of like a must do when it comes to a customer?
Well, we've recently implemented, this is something new since, we have a lot of clients since we've been around for so long, but quarterly progress meetings with the clients. We're going to say take our top 10, 20 customers, and everybody get, again, this is about getting sticky with them as well, finding multiple touch points, getting back in touch with them, and just being, just like a good steward to the business, saying, hey, I know it's not time for a rate increase, but maybe, just seeing how you are. And it goes a long way. You get a lot of responses that way. People are like, what, I wasn't thinking about you, but now I am. So it's just, again, staying communicating and staying in touch,
100%.
I think is big.
Do you think that was like one of the key factors that has been the biggest reason for Dupuy's longevity?
I can't speak to what the years before I was here,
right.
But I do know it's a relationship business, and like I said, this is a family company for 88 years. Actually, our birthday is on July 1st.
Oh, so, wow!
Yeah, it's in 2 days. So whatchamacallit? Yeah, a lot of handshake deals back in the day, I'm sure. But Mr. Colley, who used to one of the Dupuys, he still is part of he still is here because he has contacts. He's on here every day, but the people at the Folgers and the large companies, Kraft and these people, they know him. So he did a very, very good job of building relationships. And I think that that was one thing behind the longevity. I think that doing good work and being friendly, being friends and getting along.
Yeah, I think you mentioned, like the dinners and all the extra miles that you go for your clients. That's what makes you stand out. That's what makes you remember them. So as much as it's exhausting, it is the way to stand out throughout such a, an industry that is so saturated. So definitely you guys are doing something right for sure.
And I think it shows part of, I think the commitment Dupuy has to its employees. They're really this place is like a family. There's people in New Orleans. They've been working here 35 years, 40 years. His daughter's here. She's been here 23 years. It's guys some of the guys. Yeah, I wanted to say the average tenure here is like 12 years or something like that.
Oh,
Something
wow.
really high. Yeah, it's really crazy for all the warehouse guys and all the people in the office. So it's
Oh, that's so beautiful to hear. I think that's
yeah.
something a lot of companies don't see. So the fact that your turnover rate within, itself is so small, I think that that's like amazing. So it must speak a lot to your culture that you guys have.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I'd love to know a little bit about your opinion when it comes to like technology. Obviously, I'm sure you've dealt with, doing things very manual with paper and emails like we talked about, and now with everything that's evolved with AI, and that kind of, Claude and ChatGPT and things like that. How is it something that has impacted your business positively?
I think, we were talking about marketing. I think, and I hate to say this because I was in the ad business for a long time, it's going to put people, graphic designers out of work. We're building pieces of marketing pieces that are indistinguishable from a real person doing it. We're just getting into managing our customer service CRM platforms with AI. It's obviously the future. It's taken me a little bit to wrap my arms around it, and trying to wrangle the ways it can help us. I've used it a lot for prospecting and finding, it's good. It's great to find out, it's as we all know, it describes a ton of data and makes it just very easy usable. Saves me a lot of time, put it that way. 100%. Spreadsheets, you name it. Like you do everything with it.
Spreadsheets have been a lifesaver. That I can completely agree.
Yeah, I didn't know how to build a pivot table until.
So, I don't know how to build a pivot table. Like those Excel courses, I just accepted and kept going because I was like, I'm not watching 10-hour videos on Excel. Like it's not happening. But I always like to know a bit, people's, challenges they might have faced a little bit with AI. Like what are some challenges you find that you guys had to kind of adapt over to kind of integrate this into where the world is going?
I think with us, it's, and I think a lot of people say the same thing, just getting it completely meshed in with existing like sales programs and accounting systems, because every single accounting system is proprietary.
Right.
There's a few extra steps, but I think it'll all come in the wash in in a few years. I think they'll have that all figured out. Because I think they're going to start using AI to make all of those internal systems better and talk to each other more. It's a bit in all the businesses I've been in, that's always been a thing. The proprietary nature of people's software is kind of slows business down sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, since you're on the sales side, I'd love to know a little bit, what are red flags that you kind of find are, things that brands or shippers should really look at before signing with a 3PL partner?
I would love to say references, but we don't really do a ton of references. But if people are looking for a warehouse partner, it is just a matter, searching and just doing due diligence and following up and finding out about these companies. You can usually get them to tell you one of their clients or something like that, so you can get some kind of feel for them. But yeah, usually reputation is what I would say.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, 100%. I think that that's like the most important for sure. I think that, and then also that people can sometimes just move a little too fast because they're looking to get something sorted right away.
I agree with that.
But it ignores a lot of like potential red flags there. But I think honestly, what you guys are doing with your relationship first, it definitely shines through. And I think that that's awesome. You guys, everybody that I've met at the Dupuy is just all radiating positive energy. So that definitely speaks to obviously like your culture and just the way that you guys must handle your customers, and obviously why you guys have had such long-term clients for such a long time. In your experience now, so I know that you were obviously on the other side of it now, but now that you're in logistics, where do you see kind of like the industry in the next 5 years? Like I know that's a very broad question.
Sure.
But with everything
I think you're going to see a lot of, I would think it would happen. It's kind of, I don't know. There's so many different 3PLs. Somebody's going to start buying them up. You know what I mean? If they already haven't, there's it's going to, I think you'll see a lot more consolidation. I think it's leading that way. I would think just the fact that we were even on the market, I thought was interesting. So people are looking to acquire. You can make money in the business. So it's, I think some people will see the larger picture and start consolidating services and saving money that way.
It's a super interesting point. Like I've asked that question before, and no one's ever really given me that answer. And I completely agree with it. You're slowly seeing it a little bit. And I think it's a little trend that's starting to happen, but it makes sense because the industry is so saturated that,
And
someone
we're seeing it in the coffee industry because there's only a few big players like us in coffee. And again, we're not just coffee. I want to make sure on this podcast that we're doing everything grain when we do it all. We're rail served, the whole thing. Yeah, we see it a lot in our business because we used to have like 5 competitors. Now we have like 2.
Wow.
Yeah, that's from my understanding from what, over the, so in the coffee business and warehousing and handling and stuff like that, it's definitely been consolidating over time. Now roasters there's still a ton of different roasters that we're doing coffee for, but the server side of it is definitely siloing.
Okay. I know you mentioned being on the market. Is that still something that's happening, or was that possible?
No, that was when we got acquired a couple of years ago. I assume that's how it happened that we're on the market. We're actually very interested in acquiring more and growing. So that's another part of our strategy besides just diversifying is finding more locations.
Yeah.
To do more service.
It's so exciting. That kind of touches into my other question, but what excites you most about the future with Dupuy?
Just the and I think we're just having a lot of really good momentum right now, diversifying and finding these other projects to do and making capital investments, and it's just exciting. It's just to see us succeed and see if how much we can grow. Yeah, when I started here, we didn't have our Toronto facility, so they already went and did that. It's Eland Logistics up there in Toronto. They're a large player in the coffee industry as well.
Oh, that's really cool. You guys have already grown so quickly just in the 2 years of you being there.
Yeah, we're trying to do the West Coast. We're trying to do a little more of the East Coast as well. All points, maybe get down to we were in Miami for a long time, so we're probably getting back down there too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there, that kind of touches my question again, but is there any kind of like exciting, warehouse projects or anything kind of coming up for you guys that you'd like to share?
Nothing I can really share, but yeah, we've got a lot of grain projects that we're really trying to push through. So yeah, just keep an eye on us for grain. We should have something mentionable soon. But, yeah.
Very cool. It's so exciting. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for that for sure. But I love how much you guys have adapted and growing out your niche a little bit too. I think it's so important. And it definitely probably has helped you guys with the amount of clients you've been able to acquire as well.
Yeah. We've been doing a pretty good job of it as far as I can tell.
I love that. We have time for me to ask you 1 or 2 little fun questions. So I always like to throw in a few with them. But if you could bust one myth in the logistics industry, what's one myth you'd love to bust?
One myth. The warehousing. You mean that's a tough question.
Anything in the logistics space, like something you might have heard and you're like, that's furthest from the truth,
No, I don't think I have a good answer to that. I mean, the only thing it would be very us, and that people don't think we do more than coffee. That's it's the education part of getting people to learn that we do more than coffee, which I think people now are starting to realize. But that for us at least is, that the best thing we're good at is coffee, when we're actually good at a lot of things. So.
No problem. I think that's a great answer, to be honest. We'll definitely put that out there. I think that definitely touches in the fact that you guys are doing more than just coffee. So can definitely put that as the headline for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll find a different question. I always ask this one, but I love it because I get the best responses. But what's something that might have happened to you in the past that either could have been funny or maybe wasn't funny, but now you look back and it's a funny learning lesson?
I think that would have to involve confusing people with different companies and completely emailing, going to all these conferences. You get like 1 million business cards, and I did it one time. I started reaching out to this person, and they had the same first name, and we got along. And I was asking all these warehousing questions and job, things. And it turned out I was completely talking to, it was somebody. I thought I was talking to a coffee customer or something. I can't remember. And it ended up being a sugar customer, and I ended up getting the sugar customer anyway, just because I don't know. But it ended up working out. put it that way. But I was totally for like 5 or 6 emails. We never talked about what commodity they were doing. And yeah, but it worked. It ended up working out once we got on the same page.
That's good. It's definitely made you, double check your references
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah.
At least you got
Not proud of that, but yeah, I felt really stupid for a while. But it was that aha moment when I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh my God, that's not that dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, at least you got the deal. That's the most important part. I think we've all done that though. The amount of times I've said someone's name wrong or whatever, and I just tried to pass by it, but I get it, because at these trade shows, it's like you're so beyond brain dead at a certain point. Like you're talking to so many people, like it's at a certain point your brain is just gibberish. So
yeah, it's
at
very
least,
true.
at least
Yeah,
you
you've
got
been there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
100%. So before we close off, is there anything you'd like to kind of end with, or re-mention to the viewers?
That our footprint extends not beyond Charleston and New Orleans. So we're also in Jacksonville, large facilities in Houston as well as Toronto. We are open for business, and we are actively looking for business. You name it, we can probably handle it. So we're talking grains, we're talking sugar, we're talking metals, more coffee. We'll take more coffee any day of the week. But yeah, just that Dupuy is open for business. And we're looking to expand.
I love that. Well, you guys heard it here. We'll definitely put their link below, so you can go check out their wear match profile for Dupuy and their locations that they have available. Please go visit their website, and if anything interests you, we really suggest that you guys go talk to Christian. But thank you so much for joining me, Christian. It was such a pleasure. I really appreciate it, and thank you everyone for tuning into this episode.
All right, thanks, Chloe.